Hey guys, and welcome to the 19th video in my A to Z jungle series. In this video, we're going to be playing Diana jungle, which is actually one of my best champions. I actually managed to get to Master tier playing a mix of Diana, Tahm Kench, Rek'Sai, and Nidalee. A couple of other champions were included there, but for the most part, those are the champions that I played. And so Diana is actually going to be like, in this video, it's probably going to be like a really hard, like stomp, very quick and easy game. Let's go ahead and move on to the runes and masteries and what I personally think of the champion. So I actually use this page for Diana. It's a really interesting page. I actually copied it from a friend of mine a while back. Let's go ahead and go over what is going on in this page and the reasoning behind the runes that I use. So I use 2 movement speed quintessences for Diana. The main reason behind this is because in the early game, one of the main things that you do as Diana is you focus heavily on farming, so moving from camp to camp to save some time is something that's, just a little bit effective, as well as, utilizing the movement speed that it provides you. This allows me, the extra movement speed that it gives me also allows me to go for the Lucidity boot or Thork boot tier 2 choice instead of going for Swifties. Allows you to catch up to the enemy team so you can QR them. So very obvious reasoning behind that quintessence. The one quintessence of ability power obviously for AP because they're an AP champion. Marks of attack speed for clears helps with the passive on Diana as well. Scaling armor because I am not planning on coming out of the jungle until the point that scaling armor already gets overvalued by flat armor, and I believe scaling armor actually becomes better than flat armor at like level 6 or 7. I might be wrong about that, but about the exact number, but I know it's fairly early on. And then we go greater glyphs of scaling ability power, and the main reason you do that is because, again, you're a scaling. Since you're heavily focused on farming, you really try to go and scale up with that, and I feel like greater glyph of scaling ability power provides more than flat AP. So that's the rune page that I use. Let's go ahead and talk about the masteries that I'm going to be using for Diana jungle. So for masteries, this is the page that I end up using for Diana jungle. The main reason that I use this is I want to get Thunderlord's Decree as well as the precision mastery for the magic penetration. I do go for, instead of going for the assassin mastery in cunning, I do go for the buff mastery for the increased duration on blue buff and red buff. I honestly feel that after the nerf to Assassin, where it didn't increase damage dealt to isolated jungle monsters, I felt like it wasn't as worth it as the buff mastery on champions like Diana, but that's up to you. The main thing that I think that you could change in the page that I'm running right now is you could change the oppressor to bounty hunter depending on how you're feeling about that, but I feel that you get an earlier power spike with oppressor, so I feel like it was a little bit more worth it. So this is basically the page that I use, 1218 0. Let's go ahead and talk about the reason I like Diana jungle. So let's talk about Diana jungle and the pros and cons about Diana jungle. So Diana farms really well. Like that's her main thing. She farms super effectively, and with the route that I believe Valkyrin devised it, but somebody else might have made it. Whoever did it, Valkyrin popularized it, where you leave your buffs up until the second iteration of your clears. I feel like because of that, and having a level 6 power spike and having your double buffs at the same time allows you to have an insane gank pressure as Diana. Like you're gonna see in the game that I play that it happens 100% of the time when I play Diana. Like I almost always just get massive the moment I hit level 6. But basically, obviously her early gank pressure is like almost non-existent, but her early clears involve her being so healthy in the early game. I believe I hardly ever drop below 70% health while I'm clearing, which is insane, honestly. Like when you're clearing on a jungler, and I almost always go refillable potion 2 on Diana just because I don't think it's worth getting the 3 health potions. So she has incredibly healthy clears, and then her mid game, her power spike in mid game once she starts getting her items, due to her excessive farming, is just insane. Like she does a ridiculous amount of damage, and generally when I'm playing Diana, my expectations of the game is to be around level 18 by the time the rest of my team is level 14 or 15. I expect to be that big off of just farming. That being said, you might be going, oh well, you're just AFK farming, of course you're gonna be over leveled. No, I'm not just AFK farming. I basically what I tend to do is I tend to go for a gank, just pub stomp the gank or something like that, and then just shove out the wave, and if my laner recalls, I go and proxy another wave or something like that, and then I go and check the enemy jungle, start farming the enemy jungle up, farm my own jungle up, And then I'm like consistently just making sure that all the waves are pushing at all times because I want to get farm. And with the items that Diana builds, I mean, yeah, AP items are more expensive, and you know, changing Rune Glaive to Runic Echoes was a slight hit to her damage output. But despite all of that, like she's still an incredibly powerful champion. So if you're looking for a champion to basically climb with, I would highly recommend Diana Jungle. Just really, really powerful. And let's go ahead and move on to the game so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Hey guys, and welcome to my Diana Jungle video. So I'm actually really excited about this because Diana is one of the champions that I climbed to Master with last season. So we're gonna go ahead and show you how I play Diana to get her to get going with her. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm actually gonna be using a strategy that Valkyrin uses. It's basically where you farm every single camp except your buffs in your first rotation, and then you farm your buffs afterwards. And then what this allows you to do is you do one more rotation of camps and you'll get to level 6. So what I'm going to be doing in this game is I'm going to be doing my Krug camp, Wraith camp, Wolf camp, Grom camp, Recall, Krug camp, Red buff, Wolf camp, Wraith camp, Wolf camp, Blue buff, Gromp. And that'll get me to, after that I recall one more time and I do 2 more camps and that'll get me to level 6. And with that, I'll have my double buffs as well. Let's actually go ahead and move these. Let's look at the team comps really quickly. We got Scion top lane versus Volibear, Jungle Diana versus Udyr, mid lane Talon versus Orianna, AD carry Draven with against AD carry Lucian, and Janna's support with Teleport, awkward, against Trundle. So let us get going. Refillable potion because Diana doesn't take much damage in the jungle, and especially with this type of play style, with this type of farm style, we're actually not going to be, we're not going to get set behind too much. We're not going to be taking too much damage. We're going to start W first for the shield. So let's show you guys how it's done. Start W, pop my W, auto back, make the Trundle tank a little bit, but he didn't do that. Alright, let's take that, smite that for the damage, the Krug bonus. And let us get to our Wraith camp. The downside is that there is a possibility that Udyr might take your buffs, but if he doesn't, then you have double buffs at level 6, which is monstrously good, especially for a champion that is a level 6 jungler like Diana. This works for any jungler that has level 6 power spike, like Nocturne as an example. That was really awkward. I accidentally just stopped A moving.
They would not listen.
That slowed my clear down about like 5 seconds, 10 seconds.
They leave no choice.
Gonna hold my smite. Gonna use it on the Grom camp instead. Alright, much better. And we will start maxing our Q. No point putting a point in E, because I'm not planning on ganking anytime soon. I'm actually just focusing heavily on farming.
Deny me no longer.
And time to recall. And we got Hunter's Machete. And a pink ward. Regen our mana. And let us go. So we're doing a pretty decent amount of damage right here. So Ori, popped Ignite, and Ori no SS. Alright, cool. Looks like our lanes are doing pretty well. This is an ideal situation when you're playing Diana because if your laners are all doing well, that allows you to just keep focusing on farming without having any hindrances. We're gonna smite the Krug camp here since we are an auto attack based jungler. This allows us to clear very easily. We take that, and we'll move over here. Take our red buff that wasn't taken by Udyr. Fortunate. We'll drop our pink ward right here. And now I'll put the point in E just to have it. Cover mid. If she shoves it out, I'll cover it. It doesn't look like there's any reason to cover this lane because it's shoving to her. I'll let him know. Shoving to her, no point. Because if I cover here, I show myself on the map, and that gives the enemy jungler information, and that's dangerous. And we'll continue maxing our Q. Smite this for the mana back. Pretty excited to get my blue buff, dude. We'll probably be ganking mid first. 1-6. So if it wasn't made obvious, we're going to be probably building into a Runic Echoes. Diana can go into Cinderhulk if he wanted to, or Devour, but Runic Echoes is by far the best option for her, damage-wise. There's Udyr, level 5 as well. He's down CS on me though. He's going into my jungle to go and like counter jungle or something. So we're actually going to use this opportunity to walk into his jungle. Because he's walking around my jungle, which means that I know that he's not on this side of the jungle. So if his Wraith Camp is up, it is up. I take the Wraith Camp. And since he's not going to be making his way down here anytime soon, actually... I'm level 6 now, so I'm actually going to gank this. Go for a 2v2v win. It's first blood. I'm actually gonna flash on her because she has no flash. Double kill for me. The reason I was confident enough to go for the flash there is because I knew that she had no flash from earlier. It's on Talon's flash cooldown. And the snowball begins. Looks like there are no camps here. I'm gonna see if I can go for a dive on this Janna.
An enemy has been slain.
Okay. And I'm 3-0 now. So 3-0 now at 6 minutes. See, as you can see, the double buffs actually were incredibly useful in that encounter. So the strategy that I believe Valkyrie is the one that developed it is really, really powerful. Go ahead and buy Runic Echoes now at 7 minutes into the game. And now we can continue farming and look for ganks whenever we can. I am now almost unstoppable at this point in the game. And I can guarantee to you, like, this is something that will happen any game you play on Diana if you just, or any level 6 jungler if you just do that strategy. As long as you don't get exploited for leaving the buffs up. That's the one danger. It is a risk. It is a risk because if you do that and you get your buffs counter jungle, then the entire like strategy just doesn't work. We know that Orianna's flash is still down since it's on Talon's flash, and Talon's flash is bound for another like 20 seconds, 30 seconds. So we're just gonna focus on farming for now. Don't be afraid to use your ultimate while you're clearing.
Rune also rises.
And we'll go ahead and rotate up to the top lane. Actually, I don't see anything I can do there. Udyr is bot lane right now. He's gonna kill that, so we're gonna go ahead and take the camps on top side. Are there any? Yep, there are. We could go for a dive here, actually. And we'll go ahead and jump on him. And he's dead. We'll go back into the Udyr's jungle because I have zero fear of fighting Udyr 1v1. Even without my ultimate up right now, I should be able to auto-attack trade with him. Hello. Yeah, I have literally zero fear. I'm gonna go ahead and ping that I'm here. Volibear's rotating. Get it into the bush, and got it. And we'll see if we can get this camp as well. Okay, whatever. He took it, he had to use the smite. Not a big deal. And we'll go ahead and recall right here. 2-level lead on the Udyr right now, and 3-0-1. There's the Udyr running to his bottom side jungle. I'm going to ping it out. And we will start building into Azonias. We'll get Stork Boots here, since we're snowballing. How long are you... Just letting him know that I'm recording so he doesn't
Open.
continue to PM, because I don't want to. I mean, I'll answer his questions after the game, but I don't want to do that at the moment. All right, so we're gonna pick up the Krug camp, then take the red buff. Udyr's level 7 right now, and I should be level 9 after I take my red buff. There's a huge set of CS right now in the top lane. I mean, in the mid lane, and I want to pick that up. I'm gonna just go for the Orianna here. I'm assuming she's right there. Yep, she is. She doesn't see me. Got the the ult, and I'm just gonna auto her to death. No point ulting again in case I encounter the Udyr. Alright, so now I have another 1k gold in my inventory. I'm gonna build into a Zonia's Hourglass. First item allows me to dive. I could go for a Nashor's Tooth, pretty strong item on Diana. I really do enjoy it as well. Or I could go for an Abyssal Scepter, depends on the situation. All of those items are pretty strong first items. I think actually I'm gonna go for Nashor's here. No, the game is like, we're snowballing really, really hard, so I could go for a snowball item instead. Let's see what we can do on this Scion. Alright, got it. I was trying to make sure that I walked far enough forward that a Scion ultimate would hit me, and, well, I did exactly that. So 5-0 and 7 on Diana right now.
Leave me no choice.
You can see that I have very little focus on objective control right now. Main reason behind that is that we're just snowballing so hard that the only reason to get any of the objectives is to deny it from them rather than to get it for ourselves. Talon's Flash is off cooldown. I'm just gonna ult Q, and she's dead.
Will be heard.
When you get to a certain point on Diana, there's no reason to even do the QRR. You just have to press R on her and then Q afterwards, and that'll be enough damage. And the big thing with Diana is that, as you can see, I don't even have items. I have a Runic Echo, so I'm just sitting on my jungle item right now, and I was able to do that. So let's see what we can do here. To the Draven. Alright, so forced the Draven's heal there. For not much at all. We're gonna go ahead and just pick up Dragon here.
Chosen of the moon.
Just heal. Alright, so Dragon here, I can solo it very easily. And we'll go ahead and kill the Draven right here. Oh. That was awkward. Alright, so 7-0 and 1 on Diana now. Pretty much unstoppable at this point. We'll go ahead and go for a more snowball-y build rather than going for Nashor's or Zonia's. So we'll just pick up Abyssal Scepter right now to just one-shot people when we jump on them. And we'll get an Amplifying Totem, we'll build that into something eventually, we'll figure that out later. My Krug camp is gonna come up soon, but I'm just gonna go for my Wraith camp and push down mid.
The moon also rises.
Abyssal Scepter synergizes really, really well with Diana because it reduces MR and a radius around you, and you are a champion that gets on top of people. The Abyssal also reduces the damage that the Udyr does to me, as well as the damage that the Orianna does to me. Unfortunately, my Q kills things, so I can't use my Q to jump to a minion and then jump to her. And I'm gonna just walk out of here. Pretty easy kill on the Orianna. There was like very little counterplay to what I just did there. I think I am gonna go for a Zonia's Hourglass though, because Zonia synergizes well with Diana due to the fact that it gives you the capability to just like dive under turret and get away. Like you just like go QRR on their turret and then use Zonia's to avoid dying the turret. Alright, so we're just gonna go onto the side right here. Get on him. Come on, buddy. Oh, whatever, we'll take that. I got too aggressive, babe. And let's push this wave out. That'll give me my needlessly large rod. I could go for Seekers, but I'd prefer to get my NDR. More damage. No point having the refillable potion anymore in my inventory. We'll go ahead and buy the NDR now. And we'll sell this for a scrying orb and buy another pink ward, though at this point there's really no reason to have the pink ward, but you know, might as well have it just in case, on the off chance that it's necessary. Two-level lead on Udyr right now, you know, and 7 more kill participation than he has, but that's besides the point. Alright. Let us pick that up. Accidentally pressed E in the middle of that, that was awkward. And we'll pop our scrying orb right here. Thing that doesn't change in the game for me though is as you can see, I'm still focusing heavily on farming. Like I don't just go, okay, you know what, I'm fed, I'm gonna stop farming. No, I sit here and I continue farming, and then I look for opportunities after all my camps are down. And the main reason I do that is because you see a lot of junglers, they get like stupidly fed like 15 kills, but then they have like 30 CS because they're just like, you know, I don't feel like farming anymore, and that is actually horrifically bad for you. So we're gonna use this opportunity to push down mid lane. Oh, my ultimate actually went on cooldown there. They're overextending a little bit, so they're gonna die here. We're gonna get mid turret for that. Might get mid tier 2, we'll see. Hello, buddy. I will take this wolf camp that's going to reset on you. And let's actually collapse on these two down here and bottom lane, because I can double kill them very easily. It's not even a contest. Alright, if I jump on Draven, I could just press RQ on him and he'll die, but I don't want to reset my ultimate on cooldown. I don't want to put my ultimate on cooldown. Let's see how they play. Alright, dead. I'm gonna smite him. Yep. Tried to be a little patient there. I didn't start like freaking out. I just spent as much time as possible to ensure that I could play that perfectly. I just, you know, QR the Draven, one-shot him, and then keep my ultimate up for the Udyr as well. We're gonna go ahead and use this opportunity to shove out the bottom lane. We're sitting on 2.5k gold. That is our Zonia's Hourglass, so pretty awesome for us. Or I could buy Death Cap.
I will be heard.
Man, this is a rough life. I really want Death Cap. But I really want Zonia's as well. Zonia's just gives you too much outplay potential. You can't just go, you know what, Zonia's is not a useful item on AP carries. No, it's always useful, like almost always. Nice. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and recall right here. And now we'll recall. My bad. Alright, 11-0 and 2 and Diana, 154 CS. Second highest CS in the game right now. We'll just buy Death Cap. And we'll buy 70s. 20 minutes now. I was expecting an FF, but it might not be. I'm level 16 right now, though. That's the big thing. I'm 4 levels up on the Udyr. That's insane. 553 AP.
My eyes are open.
And we'll pick that up. And I guess we can just go ahead and pick up Dragon. Pop the scoring up right there. And we will walk up to see if we can one-shot the Draven again.
I cannot turn back.
Kind of synergizing my pathing with his. So when I just walk over here.
They leave me no choice.
Hello, buddy. I don't want to really try to skirmish with the Sign with no vision on anybody else without my ultimate up on off cooldown. Yeah, I almost have Zonias, 300 gold. Oh god, I had the turret on me way too long. I didn't even notice. Yeah, and the turret's dead. Awesome. He's gonna get out. Whoops. I kind of just threw right there. I mean, it wasn't like a throw, like an actual throw, but that was a throw nonetheless. Like, I kind of just trolled right there and got all of us killed. If I had Zonias, it wouldn't have been a big problem, but I didn't have Zonias. Alright, Zonias Hourglass now. What are you doing, Bully Bear? Alright, let's go ahead and go to our Krug. I'll just do a full rotation of my jungle clear and go for Baron or go and push down that inhib. I do want to get all my camps though, because I am almost level 18. And I do want blue buff. Whoa,
Embrace the night.
let's do one ping. Hopefully he understands the meaning of, you know, don't take my... Don't take the 12-in-1 Diana's blue buff. Not a nice thing to do. The problem with this build is that I don't have any CDR. And Nashers provides 20% CDR, and the other thing, the the Lucidity Boots also provides 10% CDR. So normally I play with 40% CDR with blue buff. So right now, due to the fact that I'm running Stork Boots, no Nashers, I'm more of a burst mage rather than the sticky assassin that I like to play as Diana. So let's go ahead and push up and go ahead and kill all of these guys. Udyr is splitting, so he's accepting that the game is over. At this point in the game, there's really no counterplay to Diana's burst. I just press R on you and you die. Well, it depends on the champion, but... Tank. Why is Volibear so squishy? Okay, that was my bad. I thought Volibear was tankier than he was. He has no armor. Whoops, she flashed. I missed the Q. That's a nice Oriole. I've helped them with a Q. I don't have ultimate yet though. Oh, I'm dead. My bad. Shouldn't have told you to tank. Yeah, the whatchamacallit, what's his face? He is not tanky at all. He has Warmogs, Sunfire. I thought I thought your Warmogs. I thought he had a lot more tank stats. Alright, we use this next item. Next item will be the Could go Rylai's, that would be a fun item. Let's go Rylai's, yeah. We don't, no real need for Void Staff right now against that team. Alright, we're kind of trolling, and so we should just close out the game. Let's take Baron and
I speak only truth.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the 2 camps up here. I'm still like stupidly strong. I can still destroy their team as long as I don't miss my QRR or my QR.
They could not.
Yeah, we can just do it, but ideally, we should have our friends to do this with us. There's Udyr up there. Yeah, he's really squishy. I don't know why. He smited the Volibear, and I just didn't use smite. I'm a troll.
I cannot turn back.
Let's go ahead and take this turret. Hopefully we don't do the same mistake and tank it up again.
Follow no false light.
Don't beat me, guys. I have this a very, very bad habit of holding my smite for a long, long time. Unless, like, I'm... Alright. Oh my god, my R got cancelled. This is so bad. I'm fine. They don't do enough damage to me for it to matter. She missed the ultimate on me. I'm really low on mana, which kinda sucks. We go for the other inhib. Rod of Ages might have been a decent buy too, because I am running out of mana like crazy. Okay. GG, well played. Should have ended 8 minutes ago, but I guess like I kind of got really trolly, so that was entirely my bad. Let's go ahead and look at the damage dealt to champions along with the items that we went ahead and built. Damage dealt to champions 34k. It's average. I could have done better. 17k gold acquired. Pretty excited about that. Overall, well played. I snowballed the game really, really hard in the early game. Went 3-0 in the first 6 minutes, and just snowballed from there like crazy. Had 2 unnecessary deaths, but what can you do? Sometimes you just gotta get a little silly to make the game a little bit more exciting. Overall, though, Diana, really enjoy this champion. So if you guys are looking for a serious jungle pick to like pick up and like get like climb elo with, Diana's a very good like low elo pup stomper, so I would highly recommend looking into her. I mean, she's even a high elo pup stomper. I mean, look at S Diana too, or like, you know, me as an example got to master playing Diana, so like look into it. I believe the next champion might be Draven. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty excited for that as well. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.